Welcome back again to Vegas Live with Nina, and I have next to me Jairo. An unusual name.
Yes.
And how did you get a name like that?
Well, see,
obviously your mother and father decided that when you were born.
So, as with a lot of Latin American families, it's usually traditional name of the firstborn after the father. So,
the grandfather, the great grandfather, or the mother, or
so
the
somewhere
whatever.
along the line, we have a lot of Jairos, but
so you became a Jairo.
Yes, but not Junior. I actually have a middle name, whereas my father does not. So,
so that's nice. So they don't call you Junior.
No.
I've never really quite liked a junior because it's sort of your secondary.
Yeah, it's either your secondary or it's like saying, no, you got to live up to my standard.
Yeah, which is your dad or your grandfather or somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of, you never are really your own person when you think about it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never been a junior because I got two younger ones and two older ones, and here am I in the middle. Anyway, so you play the oboe?
The oboe, yeah.
The oboe. You play the oboe, so which means it's telling my little brain up here that you're in an orchestra.
Yes, I actually played Principal Oboe for Nevada Chamber Orchestra.
Chamber Orchestra.
Yeah, it's a newer orchestra that here in Las Vegas. I actually play for two of the newer orchestras here. So Nevada Chamber Orchestra is the one I play principal for. I also work with the Las Vegas Sinfonietta.
Now, is this more, when we talk about an orchestra, we talk about classical.
Yes.
So is this more classical music? And you're saying two new ones, which means it's coming more into town and people listening to classical music in Vegas.
Yes, actually both. So with Nevada Chamber Orchestra, we do a lot of pop music. Like for example, our upcoming Concerto on July 17th is movie music.
Oh, how beautiful!
Yeah, we usually do one a year.
Like a musical.
Yeah, but we actually pick different selections from different movies. For example, this concert will feature music from Titanic.
How fabulous!
Jurassic Park is on there, and
so it becomes very entertaining.
Yeah.
So you're doing the musicals of the movie industry.
Yeah, we're doing little music medleys and all that kind of stuff. With Las Vegas Sinfonietta, it's a little more true classical music and bringing that sort of
like
culture to
Beethoven
Vegas.
And Brahms and Tchaikovsky and
yes, exactly.
Rachmaninoff, and
yes.
Bach. I know a few of them. I was brought up in that actually. So how long have you been doing this? This has always been your business?
I've played oboe for the last 20 years, professionally for the last 6 or 7 years. Professionally.
Really? Professionally. Now, do you do this full time or is this a part-time thing and you do something else? Or do you teach?
Well, funny enough, it's like a lot with a lot of the entertainment industries. It's like one of many hats that you wear.
Well, yes, so, I've noticed that in Vegas after interviewing so many people. There are dozens of hats they wear and different things they all do.
So on one side, I perform professionally. On the other side, I also teach.
I figured you'd be teaching.
And I also work as when I'm not performing in the Las Vegas Sinfonietta, I actually assist my wife, who's their photographer.
Oh,
so that's
kind of keep it in the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're able to earn a living through what you actually do and the love of your life, of what you like to do.
Yeah, exactly. I also work in education, so as a part-time, or I guess more full-time job, I also work with in the special education department at Doral Academy, Red Rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, we deal with a lot of high-functioning autism or kids that have anxiety or depression issues, or even.
And you find this brings them down or relaxes them?
Well, I actually don't do any music with them.
Oh.
With them, it's purely helping them get through their day, helping them, with school.
Oh, so you don't introduce them to the music, so that's a completely separate thing.
Yeah, completely separate thing.
Yeah. How do you manage to do that? Because I've often, you see these young children that have these disabilities, and you have to care for them and look after them a lot, because that's what they need.
Well, I find that a lot of it is just recognizing that they are human beings just like us. They have their own issues. We all have our own issues.
Kind of, definitely.
Yeah. So when it comes to a child with anxieties, you have to sort of try to figure out, okay, what triggered it? How do we help calm you down? For me, I get them breathing exercises.
Is that to do with bipolar and all that stuff?
Yeah, a lot of that. We don't have a whole lot of those students, but a lot of our students are, high-functioning autism where they can do math really, really well, But
Well,
with
they say
English,
they're on the brink of being,
yeah,
highly intelligent. And you've got these two waves. You're very, very intelligent, and everything, and then you've got the other wave that you're more like a child.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like they have trouble expressing themselves, so it's kind of my job to help them express
Express
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah, to
So,
find out what they're like. If we're in an English class, it's my job to help them, figure out that they want to say, oh, such and such thing. Okay, well, what are you thinking? Help me,
yeah.
understand this. Okay, this is what you're trying to say here. Go ahead and write this down for yourself.
So, with all the experience you've had, do you feel you've been very successful with these children?
I would say I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you seem to be a very calm, excuse me, quiet person that can sort of. Because I would imagine these children, a lot of them don't like noise and don't like, dramatic things going on because they're very calm.
Yeah, I find that being loud and yelling at them does nothing.
Doesn't
for them.
help.
No,
No,
it doesn't
I think
help.
it makes them probably. I would imagine. I don't know.
No.
I would imagine it makes them a little bit more to have more
Yeah,
anxiety.
they then become very anxious, very closed off, and that's not what you want. You want them to feel that they can trust you.
Now, they're obviously, are they born like this, or is this something inherited as they start, as of birth? And
That part I'm not so sure about. But either way, I don't think it really matters. I'm there to do my job.
Do you have to have a doctor's license, or do you have to put anything?
For my job specifically,
Yes.
no.
No.
No, my job they're more looking for an interpersonal relationship type thing.
Now, how does this coincide with your music?
Well, so
Two tranquillities.
so as principal oboist, I'm actually sort of in charge of I'm in charge of my own section, and to a greater degree, sort of responsible for pitch across the orchestra. Because if you go to an orchestra concert, the first cohesive sound you hear from the orchestra is the oboist playing an A, and then the various sections tuning to that one note.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I did not know how important the oboe was.
Yeah, and the only reason we do it is because the oboe has such a powerful sound that it actually cuts through, and you can hear it the entire time.
Definite sound.
Yeah. So with that, I have to be able to manage not only my own section, but how I talk to the conductor, how I talk to the section leader next to me.
So you have to get all these people together to.
Yeah, and even to the people behind me. You had Dr. Liz Valvano on your show a few weeks ago.
Yes.
So she and I are actually great friends, and she plays principal bassoon right behind me.
Yeah, she has the bassoon, which is that great big long thing.
Yes.
And everything else. I was fascinated with that, actually. She was lovely. She was
She's an amazing person. I love talking to her.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, she's also got this kind of little sense of humour as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, how often do you get to play? Is it once a week, or how do you have these concerts?
It really depends on the concert season and what
I don't know. There
we're
was a concert season probably more in the winter, isn't it?
It sort of starts kind of like with school, where we go into from fall all the way to like late spring, early summer.
Yeah, that's how kind of.
Nevada Chamber Orchestra is kind of strange in the way that we continue to perform year round.
In the heat?
Yeah. It's kind of tough.
Do you do a lot of outdoor concerts?
No, thankfully
goodness.
not. Thankfully not. I'm very, for me personally, I'm very much against it because my instrument is made out of wood.
Oh, it would be lovely, wouldn't it? All cracking up. You'd have,
it
would have a sound of its own.
Yeah, I absolutely avoid doing outside concerts. That being said, I have done them before. When I played with Henderson Symphony years ago, I played oboe and English horn for a movie concert they did.
The reason I asked that question is because in Europe we have, and I lived in Beirut as well, and we have a lot of orchestras at night, but on the evening time, and outside, and absolutely beautiful. And it's so lovely because you've got all this sort of the lovely atmosphere, but it's normally not in a very noisy place. It's usually in a very quiet place, and especially in Beirut, it was in the old ruins and everything. It's just fabulous. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I imagine it's very wonderful doing a concert outside in that sort of venue.
Yeah. Do you ever get to travel anywhere?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be traveling here very soon to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got into an international music festival.
No, I meant outside of America.
Yes.
I meant Europe.
Oh, outside of America? Yes, I have. I actually grew up going across the border to Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh, how fabulous.
And I've also gone to Colombia as well, and I'm hoping to go back to Colombia here, in the next few years.
Yeah. Do you like to travel with the group? Is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. Most of the traveling I will say I do is by myself. Mostly because, Nevada Chamber Orchestra, Las Vegas Sinfonietta were sort of groups that just stay here in Vegas.
Do you get hired by other orchestras?
Usually here in town, because we have so few, it's usually just either, Nevada Chamber Orchestra, Las Vegas Sinfonietta, or
so you have
UNLV.
an agent. Yeah, you have an agent then.
Yes, myself.
Well, it's usually the best age.
Yes.
Not knocking the ages, but yeah, to go do. Did you ever think as a child and growing up that this is what you would do? Was one thing you wanted to do, or how? Because I often wonder, how do people get into classical music? Because classical music it has to truly be a love.
Yeah.
A love of life, because it's in the music industry, it's something completely of its own. It's not the rap, it's not the blues, it's not any of that romantic stuff. Mm-hmm. Though what you're doing with the musical.
Yeah, I found that early on as a child, I always knew that I was going to perform, but later on when I became an adult, I realized I want to teach more than I want to perform.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I found that as a soloist, I don't really care to do that. I don't really care to stand.
He doesn't like the attention.
I don't.
You don't like the attention. Yourself?
I can do it. But I don't care to stand in front of the orchestra. I prefer to play within the orchestra,
within it.
And I prefer to teach younger students how to do what I do.
Yeah.
And how to sort of gain the musical intelligence to make the decisions.
Why do we have so many young Asian people going into orchestras and into the quieter music business?
Yeah,
a lot of them,
I want to say it's something with the culture. They're sort of
their culture.
They have this drive to be the best.
I know, and they work and they work and they work and they do become the best. Mm-hmm. You see these little girls, fiddling away and doing their thing and everything, but they're very dedicated to what they do, and I can't say that's much for a lot of people.
Yeah, I wish I knew why.
But... Well, let it be a mystery.
Yeah. How
can anybody reach you if they want to book you?
Well, I'm available through Instagram. My handle is Jairo_Oboe. That's JAIRO_OBOE. Available through Instagram. I believe my email's on there, so it's the easiest place to find me.
Great, fabulous. Well, it's been a little interesting, a little different to my last guest, who's all over the place, and you're very quiet and very calm. Bring me back down to earth. Absolutely, man. I want to thank Social Media Shows, my producer, Maria Pereza, and of course we've also got Ryan back here, who's taking all the photographs. And I also want to thank, Vegas. They've been very good to me, and thank you for my audience, and thank you for all being there. And there's a message coming up at the end of all these shows, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. Take care.